Share this out quickly. And I'm live. It's definitely a Monday. Good morning to everybody. Good Monday morning. What's up, Sierra? Turn this heater down a little bit. It's not so cold anymore. Whew. It is Monday morning. This traffic is incredible today. And after a long, short weekend, I'm just ready to be to work so I can be not in this traffic. So, I've been getting up earlier to work lately, catching these. Good. I appreciate you popping up and hanging out with me because it gets lonely talking to myself on live. No, but in all seriousness, I appreciate you getting up and setting your notifications so you get alerted when I go live, because I try to post them on my wall, and I post them in the Circle Fans group. That way, they got their flashers on. Great. I don't envy your drive. I drive 5 minutes through town to work every day. Well, that is amazing, because 5 minutes, I don't know how I would even act. I'd be like, oh crap, I got 10 minutes to get to work. Oh, that's right. I work 5 minutes away. And then you would get there and be like, I'm here. So yeah, I don't know how I would respond to a 5 minute commute. Oh, even better, they've got their flashers on, but they're still turning left. All right. So, who was that? Good morning. Crap. I have to get you at the next red light. I don't know who said good morning. Sorry. Oh, Bolt. What's up, Bolt? Yep, this is my never-ending commute today because it's not actually rain. It's just the ground's wet from prior rain. So that means that everyone decides to drive super slow. Everybody's braking early because they're worried about sliding, I guess, which to me, wouldn't that make it worse for you? I don't know. So good morning to everybody. Hope you had a great weekend. I know I did, because not only am I a freelance circle promoter, as most of you may know, which pays nothing, but I also am an IT project manager, which has nothing to do with my weekend, and I'm also a professional wedding DJ. I don't know if professional really means anything on here, but I consider myself professional. You know, everybody stop it fast. I do private events like weddings, birthdays, anniversaries. Not just, I literally just got a message for someone to, for me to send a contract to somebody. I guess I'm doing another holiday party. So anyway, I had a wedding this weekend, and it was my last wedding of the year, which is, I don't know if it's really bittersweet because it starts all over again in March. But my last wedding of the year had kind of all of the normal fixings to a wedding, which was, ceremony. And because it's December, ceremony was inside by a fireplace. I don't even know if that fireplace was an actual working fireplace, but so ceremony at the fireplace, and it was inside. The layout was kind of nice. Usually indoor ceremonies, people kind of worry it's not going to have like that feel to it of a ceremony separate from like the reception. The pictures aren't going to be, as glamorous as it would if you were outside getting pictures with, nature. But it was really nice. Um, they decorated the mantle above the fireplace. It was like wood, not like old style wood paneled walls, but it was really nice. It was inside of a barn, and didn't look like a barn on the inside. I forgot it was a barn when I set up and I was in there. And so after the ceremony, they went outside to take pictures for an hour, and I got to give it up to them for really toughing it out because it was cold. Like when I got there, it was just a little chilly, so it wasn't terrible. But come 5 o'clock, and by 5:30 it's dark, so there's no sun to try and warm things up. The sun's been gone. It's done. It's like bye. So they were outside. They were in the cold. They were toughing it out, getting all of their family poses out of the way, getting pictures, bride, groom, and best man, maid of honor, in front of this really old-timey truck, which is really cool. And then they came in briefly, so that way they could warm up a little bit. And then you do a grand entrance, big introduction of the entire wedding party, parents and whatnot. So it went really well. It was a lot of fun. But the only thing different about this one was they had a lip sync battle. Now, I have never been able to host a lip sync battle because people get self-conscious, they get scared, they decide they're not going to do it. Which is weird because I get requests for karaoke at weddings. And I don't do karaoke at weddings for a number of reasons, but I tell them if you want to lip sync along, or I can cut the vocals out slightly so that way you can sing on the mic over the actual song, I'd be happy to do that. So for the lip sync battle, there's a sign in front of my setup and it said sign up here. And initially it was nobody. Nobody was signing up, not even the bride and her bridesmaids. The groom and the groomsmen, they were kind of over it. They were like, nah, we're not going to do it. Cancel that. But I did have one of the ladies in the family, mom, aunt, somewhere around there, and she came over and she requested Proud Mary. So I'm like, absolutely. And so I make a couple announcements. List is still open for the lip sync battle. We only have one participant, so if nobody's going to challenge them, that's a pretty easy win. So come on up. And people start coming up, and I get about 4 or 5 requests. And of those requests, of course, they're kind of funny. They're hits from like Britney Spears, NSYNC, Nelly, Country Grammar, and it starts off a little slow, but it's still entertaining because the groomsmen really didn't want to participate. Reluctantly, and they still had a lot of fun. So they performed Vanilla Ice, Ice Baby, and one of the groomsmen, who was kind of the front man of all of them, the rest of them either kind of two-stepped or hung back. He killed it. It was really enjoyable. I got a couple small clips of it, but again, with trying to post copyright material, it's immediately flagged. Audio's cut out on Facebook. It's flagged on YouTube. So it totally kills the moment of trying to share these moments with people. So it was a lot of fun. From there, after Ice Ice Baby, I had more requests for I think it was just one of the groomsmen who wanted to do what song was it? Now I'm drawing a blank. But anyway, it was another groomsman. Then the bridesmaids wanted to do Hit Me Baby One More Time. That was really entertaining because, of course, all the bridesmaids, they really get into character. They're dancing, they're kind of playing off each other, and it was just a blast. So then we had Pointer Sisters Jump from a couple of the I don't know if it was parents or some of the aunts, but either way, these ladies put on one hell of a show for Jump. And if you don't know what that song is, go listen to it. Full of energy. But then the groom's family, which is how they wanted to be introduced, they do Proud Mary. And Proud Mary is a very, very gradual build up. So it's like real soulful in the beginning, and then it just starts to build, and it builds, and then it just goes. The Tina Turner, if you have listened to any Tina Turner music, you know how powerful her songs are, her voice, her intentional movements, and their entire family is just going in. I mean, it was amazing. So of course the bridesmaids do one more, Country Grammar. That was a lot of fun. And so when it's over, I start naming off people. All right, now it's time to vote. Make a lot of noise for so-and-so, and then the bridesmaids. How about the other songs by the bridesmaids? How about the groomsmen? And it's slowly building up. And I kind of intentionally did the announcing of the songs that I did. And that's kind of how you have to do it. You got to know what the crowd's going to react to. And it's no different than with DJing. If I'm going to DJ to a crowd, I got to know what they're responding to, what they want to listen to, the kind of music that's getting people excited. So watching the crowd during these lip sync battles, I'm kind of keeping a mental note of which ones are really popular, which ones are really going well. And so I'm announcing them all off, and then at the end I say, all right, now how about Mike's family? Make a lot of noise. And the entire room just erupted, because that was the one. Like, even before it started, groomsmen, bridesmaids, they knew that they weren't going to be able to compete with their Proud Mary performance. And I don't know if they practiced it, if they talked it up before the wedding, but either way, it was amazing. And I wish that I could, play a portion of it right now. Maybe I'll throw it on my Facebook business page, and if it mutes the audio, nothing I can do. But at least I'll post it on there. But it was a lot of fun. So if you're planning on getting married, if you're looking to go to a wedding and you know the bride and groom really well, recommend a lip sync battle. And some other DJs are probably going to be like, nope, don't do it. I like the traditional bouquet, garter, blah, blah, blah. If you're not going to do bouquet and garter and you want something not cookie cutter, lip sync battle is a lot of fun. I actually have a holiday party coming up, and they have like a talent show portion. And one of the things for this talent show is a lip sync battle, so I'm going to get to do it again. And I can't wait. I'm excited. I wasn't really sure how to present it, maybe get everybody lined up and kind of, do the hands over heads to get people to cheer as their vote. But it worked out really well because it was memorable. You say so-and-so with whatever song, and they know what song was just performed a few moments ago. So for the holiday party, I'm thinking of going the same route. It went really well. It was well received, and everybody had a great time. So it's that obligatory time. If you're watching, click that like button, please. Let me know that you're enjoying the video. I know hanging out with me is just as valuable, and that means a lot to me, to be hanging out and watching my video. But to hit the like button, just so that way I can get a little bit of engagement on my videos. I appreciate it. And if you're watching on Facebook, please open it up in YouTube and hit the like button. It means the world to me that you like my videos, that you enjoy the content, as always. So anyway, after the wedding was over, of course I wrapped up with my second half of the Maniac Driver on my way to that wedding. And if you haven't had a chance to, go watch at least, watch the first video. I know it's a long video, the second one is anyway. The first one's not so long because I cut it short. But go watch that video, because there's a lot of really good information in the second one. And you'll understand more if you watch the first one. Of course, I'm biased because they're my videos, but really, I wouldn't steer you wrong with this. Do you have diabetes? Whoa, that came out of nowhere. I don't actually. I appreciate the question. It's great that you asked that, because diabetes, my grandfather had, and the short story of it, he didn't want to take insulin, and of course this is back in the early 90s. So he didn't want to take his insulin, and eventually passed away from other complications. So diabetes has been on my mind. When I was 50 pounds heavier, one of my coworkers, who him and I kind of would more or less joke back and forth about losing weight, gaining weight, because he would go to the gym and he would really hit it hard and lose a lot of weight. And he now has diabetes, and it's unfortunate because he really did try and did lose. Like him and I, we had participated in these weight loss competitions at work for wellness, and him and I were at the top of a few of those. And the most recent one, which was last year's Maintain Don't Gain Challenge, I actually lost over 10% of my body weight. No, it's great. It caught me off guard, but I really appreciate the question, because this is something that is very important if people really don't want to speak up and ask, because this is about your health. And I didn't really care about my health maybe 10 years ago, maybe even sooner than that, more recently. But now that I'm 38, it's weird to say that I'm really health conscious now because of the fact that, again, my grandfather, diabetes, I want to say he was in his 70s, maybe 72. And there's a lot of cancer in my family, so including my mother, who passed away back in 2001. So there's a lot of cancer, there's a lot of diabetes, a lot of health problems. So with diabetes specifically, my coworker, when he told me that he was diagnosed with diabetes, I guess that's how you find out you're diagnosed, but he found out he had diabetes. He has to take insulin, he has to watch his diet, things like that, check blood sugar. And he said to me when he found out, and this was kind of at the beginning of when I started drinking Circle too, that, you know, when I think I had some like bacon and sausage on my plate from the cafe at work, and he was like, "It's not worth it, bud. You know, you should probably cut back on that." And he's like, "You know, it may taste good, but you have health problems. It's for the rest of your life, however long that may be." And as many times as people tell you when you're younger, you know, don't do this because of your health, don't do that. You know, something as simple as, like my parents used to say, don't use my teeth to open up plastic bags, or don't crack my knuckles. They don't tell you that just because it's a myth, or, you know, they just want to tell you not to do things. They're looking out for you. And if it wasn't for Circle, I wouldn't have lost a majority of the weight that I've lost so far. So as of right now, we do yearly checkups at work, the biometrics. I do annual checkups through my primary, and my blood sugar, my fats, cholesterol, all that stuff is now this year, everything but triglycerides was normal. And triglycerides, apparently I have to drink more water and eat more fish. So hopefully next year that'll level out. But diabetes, no. I do not have diabetes. I really do worry a lot about things like diabetes, because when I was younger, I was told that skips a generation. I don't know if that's true at all, but, you know, my grandfather, that would be the generation. However, he drive to work, 20 miles. How much sips do you go through in a month? I get the 16 pack because I usually last 2 days on a sip. Now, when it's summertime and I'm DJing, it may sound weird because I'm just standing behind a table pressing buttons and, you know, playing music. But in the summertime, in the fall, I actually go through a sip in that 6 hour period. So I'll take an extra sip with me. So in like a 6 hour period in the summertime, I'll go through a sip. But on average, about 2 days. my 16 pack will last me the entire month, every month. And it kind of varies, because if I do a day where I have like sweet tea and that thing lasts me like 3 or 4 days, that's fantastic. My cherry limeade started off kind of weak on Saturday, and I'm still drinking it. So I'll be done that today at work, and I'll switch it out. So I would say my average is 2 days. 16 kind of does me well. But yeah, make sure that you're doing your annual checkups. Make sure that if your work doesn't do any kind of wellness program, do it for yourself. And if you have kids, there's your motivation. I would always set these like goals for myself that I didn't take seriously. Like, by the time my daughter got into high school, I was gonna start losing weight. By the time my daughter graduates high school, I want to be down 20 pounds. And then I wouldn't take any action, and time came and went. And when I saw pictures of myself after her graduation, I just really wasn't happy. I was really not happy with how it looked. And over time, when you're gaining this weight, it doesn't happen overnight. You gain this weight over the course of, months and years. So when you try to lose it, you're putting in this effort. It's really difficult at first, because you're expecting results after putting in a full month's worth of, walking around the block, or going to the gym and running on the treadmill, or doing some light weightlifting. Putting in that effort is the beginning. You've got that water weight, you've got that initial weight that you're going to start losing just because you're being more active. But then you got to remember that your body is pretty resilient. You're good with doing all of these things and continuing, but your body's going to start to adapt to the difference in your routine. So there's so many different ways that your body's going to react to the things that you do, but the one definite thing that your body's going to do if you do nothing, it's only going to get worse. If you really don't have a plan, there are people that can help, and sure, like personal trainers and dietitians and all, they cost money. But for me, the very least thing that I was going to do is cut out sodas. I set my sights on a goal, and I did it. Sodas, they are my downfall, my biggest weakness. It was literally the one thing that I couldn't help. I noticed that if I talk more, my mouth gets dry. So I must not talk very much outside of my YouTube. That cherry limeade's still going strong. And cherry limeade actually does, the flavor is much more enhanced with this filter. Since I'm at a red light, this filter, it enhances the flavor of some of the ones that aren't really that strong. I know somebody had a question when I had my live video unboxing this thing, but cherry limeade, for me, I was really disappointed it didn't taste like Sonic cherry limeade. And I'm pretty sure that's a very particular flavor, and Circle didn't want to go near that. But cherry limeade, it wasn't a disappointment. It was just not what I expected, but it was still a good flavor. And when I got the Circle Flow filter, I was drinking sweet tea, and then I swapped in strawberry watermelon, and I could night or day difference. It was really a very crisp, clean flavor to it now. And I wanted to tell people that cherry limeade now, it's actually a lot crisper of a flavor as well with the flow filter. And if you get a flow filter and you're not 100% convinced, because you either use spring water, you use filtered water, you have a Brita filter or some kind of pitcher that filters when you pour it, doesn't matter. For $8, try it once. You can always turn your dial down to 0 and just drink the water. And if you're drinking filtered water already, you know the flavor because you drink it every day. Try the flow filter, turn it down to 0, drink the water just so that way you can see for yourself there is a difference. And now that I'm going to be at work, I'm going to try it with the Deer Park water. At home, I have the Crystal Springs spring water. At work, I have the Deer Park, I think it's filtered water. So I'm going to be trying that once I empty this bottle. I already have the pure filter already. I'll get it to try it. Ugh. Let me park and then I'll read that. I have the pure filter already. I get it to try, but it's definitely not a must if you already have a filter. That's not true. It's absolutely not true. I don't know if you already have one or not, but 100% not true. A water filter, first of all, is not a must at all. Even if you have the Pure or the Brita, if you have any kind of water filter at home, that water filter, if your drinking water was unhealthy, then there would be some kind of an action towards fixing it. Plus, you would have a widespread breakout of people getting sick. So, tap water, as disgusting as it is, they add chemicals to it like fluoride and some other stuff depending on where you live. So that way it is drinkable. It's potable. Getting a water filter for your drinking water is merely to cut out those chemicals and take it back even further to just regular water. So if you put it into perspective of alcohol, and I apologize if anyone's sensitive to the topic of alcohol, but if you've ever watched someone who is a professional wine taster, vodka taster, whatever the type is, they know the difference between a cheap bottle, unfiltered, the very expensive bottle that's been filtered numerous times, and then all of the stages in between, how many times it's been filtered. The reason is because filtering something once, if you've ever gotten like a coin separator, for example, and this is probably a bad example, but it'll make sense in comparison to like a colander for straining noodles. So a coin separator, when you put coins in, it separates based on the size of the coin, and then it separates them. Well, it's the same thing when you're going through multiple filtrations. You filter out water, and every time you filter it, you're catching more and more each time. Kind of the same way that the coin filter catches it based on what the size of the coin is. So let's put that into straining pasta. So if you're straining big noodles, you can get a colander with bigger holes, so that way it gets more water out quickly. You get a colander with big holes, but you're straining something like angel hair pasta or small elbow noodles, it's going to pour right through. So when you use your Brita filter, your pure filter on your faucet, if you use it at home in one of those pitchers, yes, you are filtering your water one more time. That is good. But this carbon filter really does the job of getting out additional chemicals and anything that's in that water that's adding that taste to it, that you can taste the difference. So some people, like one of my coworkers, will drink Fiji water because she likes the way that they filter it, and it's water. Other people will drink Deer Park, Aquafina, Dasani, all of those brands of water. They're literally just filtered water, and they have different flavors based on the type of filtration they use. So to say that if you already use one type of filtered water, it's definitely not a must. Well, no water is filter is a must. I mean, that's basically the point of the filter, is to just catch anything that's in the water. I was drinking my Crystal Springs water with the filter, and it took away all of the flavor. Like, it was literally just liquid, and it was really crisp, even better, and my strawberry watermelon tasted even better. From there, started off just drinking the strawberry watermelon. I'm like, it tastes good, you know? Thinking to myself, yep, this is strawberry watermelon, it's good, no big deal. Yep, good flavor. This filter definitely still does its job. I can taste the difference. Well, then I turned the dialed down to 0, and when I drank it, it tasted just like the spring water. It tasted a little different, but it was definitely still no flavor. So I was about to switch the lids and all that stuff, and I was like, I'm just gonna take the filter off. Well, I took the filter off. I took a drink on 0, and you can see it in my face. Legit reaction. I thought I was gonna throw up. The tap water in my area, Baltimore City tap water, it's horrible. It's not an exaggeration that it's bad. It's horrible. Some people will say that they will drink tap water, they don't care. You might as well drink it out of the toilet because it is so bad. And when I use this filter with tap water that tastes that bad, and I'm just drinking it like it's nobody's business, like, yeah, it actually doesn't taste bad. No problem. Filter to just be like a placebo to say, yeah, it'll catch some extra stuff and you need it if you don't have filtered water. No, this legit, if there's a difference in the want to need scale, it is definitely closer to the need. Even if it is a want, if you drink water as it is and you don't care about filtered water, it's definitely on the want weighted side of a need. If you don't think you need it, that's fine. I'm not telling you have to. I'm not paid by them, no kickbacks. I don't work for them. I'm just telling you my experience, and I will only ever give you my honest experience. If I don't like something, go back to my lemon lime days. Wow, I swear to you, I will give you an honest reaction, honest feedback. I will never steer you wrong. I will at least give you my opinion and let you form your own opinion based on that. But for the longest time, I would bash lemon lime up and down, sideways, didn't matter, because it was horrible. Because it was horrible back then. It was so bad, and I gave it to my coworker as a test to see if he would drink it, and he made him drink it on 10 to see if he would do it, and he did. But anyway, that filter, even if you already have a filter, try it. Just try it. It's worth the $8 to see for yourself and give it a real test. Don't just put the filter on, drink the sip, and say, my sips taste the same. I don't care. I don't need it. Throw it away. No. I want you to drink on 0, whatever water you're drinking, and then put that filter on. Just snaps in place. Buds are broken. Then taste the sip. If you don't use the filter ever again, you get the lid with the spoiler on it, and it's much easier to carry. I can pick this up out of my cup holder easier because it's going to open this bottle, and it has gotten a lot easier. I don't know if that O-ring kind of like worked its way into place, but it's easier for me to close now for those that I said if you have arthritis. But if you look, it comes with the blue O-ring. So everything you need when you buy that filter, you get a new lid, you get the O-ring that you can swap between your other lids, and this one's got the spoiler, which makes it easier to put on and off, give you a little bit of leverage. And if you ever have problems just getting it off, just use that spoiler as your leverage there and twist it on. Use that spoiler as your leverage there and twist it on and off. All right, y'all. I'm at work. Thanks, y'all, for hanging out on the diabetes. To recap, I don't have diabetes, and I'm glad that it's to lose some weight, and cutting out sugar is definitely the first step in losing weight. But thank y'all for watching. I'm going to probably go live a little later in the week, but I got to get in here to work, and I will see y'all definitely on the next one.